Shabbat Shalom. I am Rabbi Lauren Werber with Congregation Beth Adam in Cincinnati, and I'm thrilled that you are here to celebrate Shabbat with us. As we welcome the Sabbath, we begin with a very simple song, Bim Bam, Shabbat Shalom.
Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom.
These are the words of Rabbi Naomi Levy. We love to change the world, but we rarely appreciate things as they are. We know how to give, but we don't always know how to receive. We know how to keep busy, but we don't often listen. We look, but we don't often see. We yearn to succeed, but we often forget what is truly important. May Shabbat teach us to slow down. May our resting revive us. May it lead us to wisdom, to holiness, to peace. These are our wishes as we prepare to light the Shabbat candles. The candles stand before us, waiting to be lit. We recall our ancestors as we too seek to dispel the darkness and banish the cold, to bring glowing softness, warmth, and safety into our homes. May the dancing flames of these candles kindle warmth within our hearts, wisdom in our minds, passion in our souls. Baruch ha'or ba'olam, blessed is the light within the world. Baruch ha'or ba'adam, blessed is the light within each person. Baruch ha'or ba'Shabbat, blessed is the light of Shabbat. We continue now with a prayer for peace. This prayer is inspired and adapted from the words of Ibtisam Mahamid and Tamar Elad Applebaum. Let us be a light for peace. Now more than ever during these days of so much crying, a light to illuminate our future, face to face, a light across borders, beyond fear. May we be among those who bring light where there is darkness, healing where there is brokenness, and peace to all of Earth's inhabitants. Baruch Or HaShalom, blessed is the light of peace. Na'aseh Shalom, we will make peace. One day, may there be peace.
Na'aseh shalom ba'olam, Na'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol ha'olam. shalom, na'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ועל כל העולם. נעשה שלום, נעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. נעשה שלום, נעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. נעשה שלום, נעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם.
We have a treat this evening for a conversation during our service. We have a guest, Rabbi Melinda Mersak, who is the director of J-Hub in the Cleveland, Ohio area. J-Hub's purpose is to embrace interfaith couples and families with a variety of different programs and opportunities. I invited Rabbi Mersak to join us because, as we all know, the winter holidays are fast approaching. And under her leadership, J-Hub has become one of these rare organizations that really challenges the assumptions about the right way to celebrate winter holidays in our families, or the right way not to celebrate these holidays. We plan to talk a bit about how interfaith families might be thoughtful in making their own choices around the holidays. And also, I hope how the greater community might do a better job embracing these families. But first, there's another reason. Some of you may know there's another reason it's exciting to have Rabbi Mersak here, and that's because you were an intern here, I think in 2001, the year before I interned. So all of us, you and I and our community go back quite a ways. So before we talk about J-Hub, which is really why J-Hub, really interfaith families more than J-Hub, tell us a little about what you've been doing since 2000 and what you're doing now.
Yes, thank you. Well, hello, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. It is a pleasure to be with you. And yes, as Rabbi Werber said, I am very proud that I was an intern at Congregation Beth Adam. And actually, it was over 2 school years. So my 5th year at HUC, I was living in Cleveland. I had gotten married and moved to Cleveland. And I commuted a little bit to finish my schooling at HUC. And I was interning that year at a congregation called Anshe Chesed Fairmount Temple in Cleveland. And then upon ordination, I stayed there as a rabbi for a couple of years. And then when I was pregnant with my oldest child, who is now 22, so it's been quite a bit, I stopped working at the congregation and did a whole variety of part-time type rabbinic work until coming back to full-time work with J-Hub.
Wonderful. It's funny that we both were in Cleveland all that time as well.
I think that's right.
One more Beth Adam question, because I have to. Is there anything you can think of in terms of how Beth Adam influenced that path or how you approach your work now?
That's a great question. I think it helped me broaden my awareness and understanding of just the variety of valid Jewish practice. So, having grown up in probably a fairly typical Reform congregation and having a typical Reform background with not just temple, but camp and Nifty and all of those things, that was like all I knew really before going into college and then rabbinical school. And so being at Beth Adam and learning from Rabbi Bar and the beauty of the creative liturgy and just meeting the wonderful people and learning from them, their stories and their practice, that I don't know that I ever really made that connection, but for sure made it a smoother transition for the work that I do now, because it is very much on par with what you previously said about, we're not prescriptive in my work today, so we're very, very clear that we're here to support people on their journey, wherever it takes them and at whatever point they're starting. And I always say we never tell people what they should or should not do because there is no one way to do Jewish or to be Jewish. And we want to support people and empower people to make Judaism their own in a way that's meaningful for themselves and their families. And so for sure, looking back, Beth Adam helped create that understanding for me.
That's fabulous. And the end of what you just said, I think we could just use on our website and it would sound like it, right? Right. The point is, how do we make it our own? And I had a very similar experience where over time I started realizing where I was falling back on Beth Adam and things I didn't know I had learned, right? In terms of how to approach something if there's an initial response, how to check that initial response and say,
yes,
how are there other ways to think about this? And where might other people be on these paths, and what can I learn from them? So that resonates with me as well.
I love that.
I think gave us.
Yeah, right. Like checking our assumptions, which we sometimes don't realize we have, as historically, particularly with interfaith families. Historically, I think the Jewish community has made like a super big assumption that if a Jewish person marries someone of a different faith background, then Judaism is not important to them. That's a huge assumption, which is very often not true.
So if we go on to the winter, I'm saying winter holidays, we know it's mostly Hanukkah and Christmas, but there's a whole bunch of others mixed in there, and some of our couples would be thinking of some of those others. When we look at the winter holidays, what are the approaches, I guess, the questions that come to you, or the approaches that you take with families?
Yes. So of course, I 100% acknowledge, as you did, that it's not just Judaism and Christianity, Hanukkah and Christmas. For sure, there are others, and yes, still the majority of people that we are connected to are typically Jewish and Christian, or have a Christian background of some kind. So honestly, it does go back to the communication. If people are figuring out like how we're going to celebrate, or how we're going to share these holidays with our families, actually, that's not so much the question we get, because I think families celebrate how they celebrate, and they're going to do that. So it may be more a question of external pressure that they may feel from whether it's their parents or in-laws or other relatives and friends. So I always encourage couples to, again, going back to communication, but also having your partner's back. So as a couple, having a meaningful conversation, not just what you want to do, but why. The why is really important, because once you're able to articulate why this is meaningful or important to you, your partner is better able to understand it, and vice versa. And then it's easier for you as a couple to find a compromise that honors both of you. Once you do that, then I encourage couples to basically be a united front, so that when they get those questions, if they get questions from loved ones about, or challenges about why they're doing what they're doing, they're on the same page. The couple's on the same page. And then it's not, it can't be misconstrued as one partner is really guiding, the decision. It's both of us equally. This is what we are choosing to do, and we're asking you to respect that. So that's one of the challenges, or one of the questions, or that we get. And another one is about doing both. And again, preface it by saying it's up to the couple to figure out. It doesn't really matter what Melinda Mersack says if I'm not in your partnership. So I do encourage couples, if they're doing both, whatever that means again for them, that they do both. Meaning, if you celebrate Hanukkah, celebrate Hanukkah. If you celebrate Christmas, celebrate Christmas. You may have decorations in your home for both at the same time, but syncretism, melding, combining two holidays, that is something I don't encourage, because then you're not experiencing the fullness of the beauty of each separate holiday, and it potentially becomes something else altogether.
That's a really important distinction to make, right? That and we felt that in our own family. My husband's family, one side of his family is Christian, and I always prefer. And then I have an extra grandma in the mix who's Catholic, and I always preferred when church was involved or when some ritual was involved that explained what Christmas meant to them, whether it was going to church or not going to church, but something that explained it. Because if my kids are being exposed, I want them to understand what they're being exposed to. So it's interesting, and that's a long way. And what you described is such a long way from when we were in rabbinical school, and sort of the buzz around was, if you have a Christmas tree in your house, like,
right,
your children are destined to not appreciate Judaism in any way ever, right? And the Christmas tree was the symbol of that for many, many years, of what's wrong with faith life. But I love how you're empowering couples to figure it out and guiding. And I think you really gave 3 steps. You said, what you would do and why, find the compromise, and then be united. That's so simple.
Yeah.
And that is
Absolutely.
also, I go a step further. The person who is of the faith exerting pressure. So if I'm the Jewish partner, and
Yes.
and my parent is fighting about a Christian practice, it's my job, not my Christian partner's job, to stand up to that.
Yes.
And vice versa, so that you're not creating a divide that's multi-generational.
Yes. Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Which is why you have to communicate and compromise, right?
Right. Yes. Right. If it's my parents, I should be the one kind of pushing back and saying, no, this is my decision too. It's not my partner's decision. This is our decision. This is what works for us. Yeah, absolutely.
And that the important part, again, is the communication. So there's not one answer. There's ways I would do it. There's things I'm more comfortable with than other things, but people need to come to that themselves, or to something different themselves, and there's not one box.
Yeah, for sure.
So as a final question, because we've been talking a while, what do you think congregations, what do you suggest congregations do in terms of how we teach about these holidays and practices, and in terms of how we embrace a wide variety of choices? It's a hard question, I know.
Yeah. I mean, forgive me, because I can't recall whether we've actually said this during this recording or not, or whether it was right immediately prior to the recording, which is check your assumptions at the door. So, I mean, it would be lovely. I mean, this is probably true for all things in life, but it would be lovely, right, if congregations didn't make assumptions about people. Like, to your point, oh, you have a Christmas tree in your home. Well, I might assume all kinds of things about that when I shouldn't, right? So maybe ask questions to understand instead of making assumptions. And be grateful, quite honestly, that couples and families want to be part of your community or are exploring being part of your community. I mean, that is a gift to the community and to all of us, right? So having interfaith couples and families that choose to connect with congregations, I mean, that's beautiful and meaningful in so many ways. And I have learned so much as a rabbi from the partners of different faith backgrounds that have helped me be a better rabbi. Um, and I like to think just a better Jew and a better person. So I mean, this work has informed my own practices as a rabbi, and I just see the value and the contributions, the meaningful contributions that interfaith couples and families make to our greater Jewish family and to any individual temple community. So I hope all congregations recognize that. I know Beth Adam does.
It's one of the many wonderful things about Beth Adam. It is a value on asking questions, on checking assumptions, right? And yet anyone can forget sometimes.
Oh
I
yes,
love that idea of gratitude, right? Nobody has to walk through a door of a congregation. Nobody. And we can feel good that people are choosing to. And that idea of remembering to say thank you, I think, and feel it and say it is really a great way to end, especially at this season when there's all this stuff going on and all this, right? Giving and receiving and all of that stuff. It's a great time to remember to be grateful for the diversity in our communities. And I really thank you so much for chatting with us. I hope you'll come back and chat again, because this is sort of home for you too. I wasn't able to, we did this earlier in the week because of some scheduling, and we weren't able to be in the sanctuary. So Rabbi Mersak didn't get to have the background of our stained glass. So she'll have to come back, because you got to have the full effect. And you're welcome anytime. We're glad that you joined us today. Thank you so much.
thank you, thank you. It was a pleasure.
We turn now to our memories. As we celebrate Shabbat together, we pause for a moment of separation, to stand alone, to turn inward, to reflect and remember. We recall those we have lost, members of our families, beloved friends, those whose lives have touched ours and who are no longer with us. We allow ourselves to wander quietly back in time, hearing again the sound of their voices, feeling comfort in the ongoing connection of their lives to ours. We want to hold time captive, to erase the steely distance between their time and ours. Although they are no longer present, we hold them close through memories of the past, shared experiences, and hopes for the future. We understand that their lives give shape and color to our own. Thinking of all those we have loved and lost, and of all those who have only us to remember, we say our memorial prayer. Ein bidei hamavet hakoach la'akor ma shetamun balev. Death cannot take that which is locked in our hearts. With our tears, in our sorrow, we remember. With our courage and our strength, we do not forget. Acts of kindness, deeds of courage will remain. Beauty created, wisdom shared is not lost. With our tears, in our sorrow, we remember. Im dma'ot be'enenu, be'et evlenu, nishmora zecher ahuvenu. With our tears, in our sorrow, we remember. Zecher tzadik livracha. May the memory of good people bless our days. As we remember with sadness, but also with the joy of memory, we also celebrate the joy of Shabbat. And we do that through our symbol of joy, our wine. Life is a wondrous gift. The mind observes with awe, and appreciation flows from the heart. Life's bounties are unveiled. Such treasures abound in ordinary moments. A familiar face, the simplicity of a smile, tender kisses, the warmth and security of a hug, enchanting melodies, the grace of dance, the coolness of sculpted marble, a remarkable story, the complexity of atomic structure, thunder's reverberation, the shimmering of the rainbow, intoxicating rose petals. These moments become opportunities to affirm that which is good. As we lift our cups of wine, a tribute to life's enchantments, may we find joy and contentment in our human endeavors. Baruchim hachaim ba'olam. Blessed is the life within the world. Baruchim hachaim ba'adam. Blessed is the life within us. I'm so glad we had the opportunity to acknowledge and to appreciate these moments of Shabbat. We will conclude with a song and then our final benediction.
Kol haolam kulo gesher tzamao gesher tzamao gesher tzamao kol haolam kulo gesher tzamao gesher tzamao v'haikar lo lapachet klam 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 v'haikar lo lapachet klam.
May we know blessings those who are near. May we know blessings those who are far. May the Sabbath bring its goodness to everyone soon, wherever they are. May we know blessings through the day. May we know blessings through the night. May health be for our children. All things soon be right. May we know blessings in our comings. May we know blessings when we depart. May we live each day with peace and wisdom in each heart. And may it be a Shabbat of peace and love and rejuvenation and joy. Shabbat Shalom.